Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 18th to the 24th of April 2016. We have quite a complex week coming up with many levels again, so we've had a bit of a rest, but this week we start with seeing Mars and Pluto both turn retrograde. These retrogrades of the further away planets actually take a little bit longer, so Mars and Pluto are currently stationary as they prepare to turn retrograde. So we're starting to see a change and a turn inwards. If we take a look at what Mars and Pluto represent, then we have the mundane and the divine masculine, the younger and the older. So we're taking our passion with Mars, we're taking that inwards, and we're taking our power that comes from that passion inwards as well with Pluto. Mars will be retrograde until the end of June, and Pluto will be a good 6 months. So we have a long haul here to go in and to find what really stokes us up, what we're really passionate about, what really motivates us, and how we can engage with that power and nurture it on the inside. So needless to say, this isn't a very outward aspect, and with Mars, any plans, any activities that we try and push forward now may meet blocks, and with Mars there can be frustration there. Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Aries always wants to push ahead, using the head. It's head first, willful energy. So if we're trying to push through new projects, if we're trying to just keep going forwards for the sake of progress, then we're going to meet some blocks in the way, and these are necessary blocks, because maybe we're pushing towards the wrong thing, or even more, maybe we're pushing from the wrong place. So to go in and find our passion, it's like the artists reconnecting with their muse. Instead of just painting for the sake of it, it's going in and finding out what's the message in the art, what's the actual motivation behind wanting to paint and produce art. So it can be very energetic and healing on the inside as we go back to the core energy of where our motivations are coming from and reconnect with that. On Tuesday we have the Sun moving into Taurus, so a great deal of earth energy around. There's a grand trine in earth signs at the moment, which is very stabilising and very constructive. So we can put a skeleton plan forward, we can begin to see which mountain we want to climb. It's just not that we're going to be climbing it just yet, but we can put a plan into place of where we'd like to be in the long run, and then make the necessary adjustments as Mars takes us on the retrograde journey all the way through to the end of June. By Wednesday we see Neptune square off with Saturn and Mars retrograde in Sagittarius. So Saturn and Mars are together, both going retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, and the Neptune square comes in, so this is a multi-level and very intricate dynamic. Because of the retrograde and because of the essence of Neptune, which is our etheric body, which is the essence around us, which is our cellular knowing, then if we can slow down instead of direct action, if we can be still and feel in to the etheric realms, feel into our cellular emotional side, then we can actually have that help us reconnect with our soulful direction, with our spiritual reason for being. So although not an easy aspect, very slow on Wednesday, get back to the sole purpose of what we're doing, get back to why it matters to us, maybe even why we're here. What is it that we're here to express? What is it that we're here to put our energy into? And to really go back in time with Saturn, go back to the heart of things with Mars, and feel into that Neptune energy to get the sole purpose of where our desires are coming from. But really this week is all about building up to the Scorpio full moon, which comes in on Friday. All these aspects that I've spoken of already are still present at the Scorpio moon, so there's a great coming together at this time, and for me the Scorpio full moon is one of the strongest ones of the year. So the full moon falls at 2 degrees Scorpio opposite the Sun at 2 degrees Taurus, very early in those signs. We have the grand trine in Earth as the pyramid in the middle, and then we have these powerful retrogrades taking us inwards. So with that combination, it feels like going inside a mountain, into a cave to meditate. It feels like getting really deeply to the heart of things, bravely going deep within, and having a look not just at our motivations, but at any anger, any frustration, anywhere that we're working too much on the masculine dynamic, which is pushing outwards, and reconnecting with the magnetic feminine, which is attracting towards from a place of inner fire. For most of this year we've had a deconstructive energy around. People think that the new year is January and that the year hasn't really got off to a good start, but the new year is actually the new moon in Aries, which was 2 weeks ago. So this is the start of the new year, and this full moon will be the first one of the year, which takes us deep within ourselves to align with our purpose first before we do actually begin to construct and build for the next solar cycle. So a full moon in Scorpio can be a delving into the subconscious, if there is anything else still lurking in there, if our motivations are misaligned, if we're working from attachment or jealousy or possessiveness or psychological manipulation, then all of that comes up at the Scorpio full moon, which is why it can be one of the strongest ones of the year, because it's you can run but you can't hide. Turn around and face your fears. Face yourself, face your shadow side, and clean and purge and purify anything that's hiding in the shadows. So when we look at all these aspects together, there's almost nothing happening in the air signs, and that can be quite a good thing, because there's too much communication and there's too much thinking in modern life, and not a lot of it actually expresses very much. We have all this social media, everybody's chatting and tweeting by the day, but what are we really saying? So there's a sense of mindfulness turning into soulfulness as we go deep into this cave to reconnect and to dance with the natural rhythms, rather than trying to push with our will, to flow and to feel, to connect with our deeper knowledge, and to let go and to release and to allow things to happen in their own timing. So the fact that there's no air signs is quite a good thing if we can connect with the other elements, and if we can turn off that stream of consciousness, the chatter, the constant thinking, and get deep into our cave, deep into our body, deep into our cells, deep into our reason, the inner reason and the knowing, and just be in that space for a while, then that seems to be the message of this Scorpio full moon, and all the way through the weekend, just this space of stillness, a sense of retreat, and a sense of self-exploration, but on a very slow and gentle level. With all the retrogrades, it's a good idea to go back in time to have a look at what our motivations used to be, or the beginning of a project that we're working on, and whether we're still in alignment with the reason of that we had in the past. Even to go back to some of our creativity in the past, to go back to certain motivations and passions that may have been left by the wayside, and reconnect with the simple joy of creating and the simple joy of caring, with the message of what we're here to express and what it really means for us. So a very beautiful, soulful, still, meditative, backwards moving week, to get back to the point of what we're doing and why, to look at our lives from a multi-lifetime perspective, to connect with the soul purpose, and maybe even heal some of our past life or early this life frustrations, so that we can have a clear road ahead when things start to turn forwards again. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. If you happen to be in London and you'd like to connect with this grand trine in Earth, then I'll be doing the first of my summer tree walks on Saturday between 2 and 4. It's a 2-hour tree walk for tree recognition, health and healing, and the magic, myth and legend of all the trees. So a lovely, reconnective Earth trine tree walk there on Saturday from 2 till 4. If you'd like to travel back and connect to your soul purpose, then I do recommend having an astrological reading, because your chart is your soul plan. So we can take a look at that and we can see what it is that you're actually here to express, and how you can step into the fullness of who you are, and then direct that for maximum potential and minimum stress. And if you'd like to work with the Saturn retrograde in Sagittarius, this is a wonderful time to start to learn astrology, especially because we're still just about in the month of Aries, so we can walk around the zodiac one sign at a time. So I have a number of online courses with videos and notes Or you're very welcome to come and join my private Facebook area where we're exploring our charts and the energies as they happen, as well as discussing other relevant esoteric subjects. So for any of those, please do contact me, zoehind7@gmail.com.